Hi guys, it's Faith Young with What Would Faith Do YouTube TV show. Welcome! Today we're going to talk about manifesting. Something I've mastered, something I do very well, and I want to share some of those tips and tools with you that you can take back and implement into your life immediately. So I find sometimes people, a friend of mine one time told me, oh Faith, I'm really good at manifesting when I'm in dire straits, when things have gone wrong and all of a sudden I need something to come into my life. I start practicing it then, and then I do, sure enough, attract things that I'm desiring. So when I heard that story, I think other people can relate to that. So that they kind of forget to use manifesting as a tool on a daily basis. It's something that it's a lifestyle that you can shift and literally attract into your life on a daily basis, an hourly basis, instead of only when you think about it. It's kind of like shifting your path, that it's a constant part of your life instead of trying to do that. So one thing that I do is set an intention. So setting intentions is a great way to manifest and attract more into your life. So I encourage you guys to go in and on What Would Faith Do and download your manifesting worksheet so you can start implementing it on a daily basis. So things that I put on there on a daily basis are like, today is going to be full of magic, or I wonder what gifts can show up today. Another intention that I have is, how many people's lives can I make a positive impact today? Or it could be something, because connection is really important to me, so it might be, my intention is to connect 3 people today. So manifesting can be really help when you put intentions, and then when you think bigger or create space for something more. So for example, if you write, today's going to be bigger than I can imagine, or today gifts will show up. It's so cool what happens, because gifts can show up as a result. So the other day, I went to lunch with a friend of mine, Zach, and we sat down for lunch, and he goes, so Faith, how are things going? How's life? And I said, well, when you see life as a gift, gifts keep showing up. And so it was so cool. We ordered lunch at this place downtown, and it was amazing because literally our lunch came together in a package. It was like wrapped up like literally like a present, like a gift. Our burger and French fries were inside this paper, like as if you went to a meat counter and they wrap your meat. They did that, and they tied a bow on top of it. And our sandwich and our French fries, our burgers and our French fries were wrapped inside this gift. So it was so cool. I'm like, speaking of gifts, sure enough, look, this gift did show up. So that's an amazing way to create space for something more than just like, oh, I better have this today, or I better receive this today. Because that's not really manifesting. That's more like coming from entitlement. And there's a big difference. If you have any expectations, that's not manifesting. There's a fine line between that. And attracting something into your life is taking action. So, for that gift to show up, I had to go meet him, I had to talk about gifts, and that tells the universe that you're ready to receive them. So that's one of the steps that people seem to miss when it comes to manifesting, is taking action. And it's really important, and I believe why it's so important to take action is because if you just said you wanted something and it showed up all of a sudden, it would be like, oh my gosh, well, now what do I do? So I like to describe this story as the pink elephant as an example, right? So like, let's say you wanted to have this elephant and you're like, okay, universe, deliver me an elephant. And literally, if right out of the sky, this elephant landed in this room, I would be like, oh shoot, now what do I do, right? So that's kind of how life is. It doesn't just appear when you say, I want this, you got to take action. So if you really wanted an elephant, I guess you would go and see if you need a permit, or how much grass they eat a day, or where you can build a home for them. Some kind of research, some kind of action. So it could be as simple as creating a vision board, or talking to someone like, hey, what would it take to have a pink elephant? Something like that, instead of just wishing it and having it happen. So I think people also believe that manifesting means that happens immediately. Well, that's not necessarily the case. It could be a time delay. It could happen in a couple days, in a couple hours, in a couple weeks. It's just whenever you're ready to receive. And I believe your actions speak louder than words when it comes to manifesting. So if you really want something into your life, you got to make sure your actions mirror that. So we were talking about feng shui earlier, and for example, I've studied feng shui. I'm all about it. A good friend of mine teaches it, and it's like if you want a significant other in your life, you need to make sure there's room in your place, in your room, in your master bedroom, for example. So, like one thing that I've learned is you need to have 2 nightstands, equal size on both sides. So one thing that I even do is sometimes I'll put a bottle of water on that side of the bed, just energetically to attract someone into my life. So that's taking action and showing that my life is ready for that. For example, there's drawers underneath my bed, and the left side, his side, is totally empty. Not saying that someone will necessarily move into my place, but just move into my life, like have space for it. So that's one way that my actions mimic what I'm asking or my desires. So practicing on a daily basis is really important to practice manifesting by asking what you do want. I think people have a tendency to not really realize what they want. But if you really take a moment every day and ask yourself, okay, what would I like to attract into my life? And practice it on a daily basis, it becomes a lifestyle instead of, oh, just, okay, when I'm at a event and there's a door prize, that's when you start manifesting. Like, oh, I want this door prize, I'm gonna manifest that. It becomes a lifestyle instead of just randomly when you think about it. So one way you can do that is by downloading the manifesting worksheet and do it on it every single day. And the coolest thing about that is keep your worksheets, because at the bottom it says, what have you already manifested? So if you're having a rough day or a moment of weakness, which all of us do because we're human, take a moment to write down the things that you've already manifested in your life. For example, Boo Boo, my puppy, she was on my vision board 5 years ago when I attracted her into my life. And so that's something you can celebrate, that you had a part in that. So when I attracted her into my life on my vision board, I put a picture of a Chihuahua, and she was literally born 5 days after I created that vision board. So that's how powerful manifesting is it can happen right away. And the belief is just when you're ready to receive, do the gifts appear. So if something isn't appearing in your life that you've been trying to manifest for a long time, really take a moment and ask yourself, what's holding me back? What do I need to release from my life to be able to attract this into my life? And then just allow those answers to appear, and however they may appear. So manifesting has been an incredible part of my life, and it's amazing what has shown up as a result. So there's so many ways that you can practice that and implement it and attract more than you can imagine into your life. So I encourage you to play big on that manifesting sheet too. So if your intention is to make 2 phone calls today, well, maybe put 4 on there for your intention. Push yourself a little bit, because playing big, it serves us well. It serves you well, serves the people around you well, and I encourage you guys to try that on a daily basis. So check it out. Go to whatwoulfaithdo.com and download your manifesting worksheet, and let the magic begin.